What's going on, guys? County Gains back here again with some more. Jordan Peterson calls out the pseudo-moralistic stances of activists. This is a Q&A session at the end of an Australian PM, which is basically Prime Minister, or at least a kind of a high up official in the Australian government and Parliament. This is the Australian people asking JP some questions. We're gonna break this one down, see exactly do we agree with it or not. I agree with a lot of stuff on Jordan Peterson. I disagree with a lot of stuff that Jordan Peterson says. So this one should be incredible. Let's get it, man. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
What is your answer to young people for some of the really big problems facing humanity, like the climate catastrophe, like economic crisis, like the precarious job market? Because I just don't, you talk all this much about individual responsibility. Most of us are never going to be able to afford to have all of these assets to have responsibility over. So what is your advice beyond banal comments like clean your room?
Well, it's actually rather difficult to answer a question that ends with your comments are banal politely. So, I would consider that more of an opinionated personal and political statement than actually a question. So why don't you try reformulating that so that there's an actual question there?
So what is your advice to young people when you talk about you need to be individually responsible, but when there are things that are so far out of our control, like climate catastrophe, like the precarious job economy, like the economic crisis, what is your answer to
do you think that you're worse off than your? Do you think that you're worse?
She wants us to say, let's just give up, guys. You have to hang around people that support the hell out you guys. You have to hang around people that support you. All right. Jordan Peterson is giving people hope about these issues. When you just say, let's just give up and we can't control whether we get a job or not. Well, create your own job. I want to do multiple jobs, in the government that I don't really want to do anymore, or that I feel that are kind of out of reach. So I started a YouTube channel, something that I can do every single day. Some things are within your reach, guys. Find opportunity inside yourself. Let's see what Jordan Peterson has to say. Don't just give up like these people want you to think. Just give up all the time. Giving up losers.
What is your answer?
Do you think that you're worse off than your? Do you think that you're worse off than your grandparents?
Yeah.
I think there are different challenges.
Do you think you're worse off than your grandparents?
I think that
Jordan, once again, we're not going to cross-examine our questioners. So try answering the question about collective responsibility on climate change, for example. Pick one part of that. Because the argument, I think, is that individual responsibility does not change the climate, does not fix the problem that needs global collective responsibility. So I think that's the core of the question. Do you have a theory about that?
Well, fundamentally, I'm a psychologist, and my experience has been that people can do a tremendous amount of good for themselves and for people who are immediately around them by looking to their own inadequacies and their own flaws and the things that they're not doing in their lives. And
there you go. Become self-aware if you're overweight, if you don't have a good job that you don't like, if you don't have as much money as you don't like, if you don't have a girlfriend, if you don't have these things. Self-awareness, and try and change them. Actively work every single day. There's 24 hours in a day, guys. Actively try and self-awarenessly work towards these things. Come on, guys. Let's get some freaking motivation going, bro.
Inadequacies and their own flaws and the things that they're not doing in their lives, and starting to build themselves up as more powerful individuals. And if they're capable of doing that, and then they're capable of expanding their career. And if they're capable of expanding their career and their competence, then they're capable of taking their place in the community as effective leaders. And then they're capable of making wise decisions instead of unwise decisions when it comes to making collective political decisions. I'm not suggesting in the least, and have never suggested, that there's no domain for social action. I'm suggesting that people who don't have their own houses in order should be very careful before they go about reorganizing the world, which happens in many ways.
Can I just to...
She doesn't agree with that one.
If a young person believes that the climate, the global warming problem on the climate is something that needs to be tackled quickly, and they can't wait until they grow up and become prime ministers to do it, Do you think collective responsibility overrides individual responsibility in a huge issue like that?
No,
Okay.
I don't. I think that generally people have things that are more within their personal purview that are more difficult to deal with and that they're avoiding, and that generally the way they avoid them is by adopting pseudo-moralistic stances on large-scale social issues so that they look good to their friends and their neighbors.
Damn! Dude, that's a train wreck of an answer. Bro, you just killed her there. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, basically, you know, you're just trying to come up with some kind of excuse why you can't do what you want to do. It's the same with anything, guys. It's the same with, you know, anything in life. You know, getting money, getting a nice house, getting a car, getting a good job, getting whatever. You know, you kind of have to take a bit of personal responsibility and say, you know, I want to actually achieve these things myself. I don't want to be relying on people to try and achieve them. Let me try and go out and start a business. Let me try and do something else. You know, so absolutely hilarious, guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.